The following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA Network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the WZWA Network, and welcome to my review show here of Stardom's All-Star Grand Queendom from April 23rd at the Yokohama Arena in Yokohama, Kanagawa, Japan. This is my first ever time watching a full Joshi wrestling show, a full Stardom event. As I said before, I'm taking the time this year to broaden my horizons as far as being a wrestling fan is concerned. And the reviews that I do on our YouTube channel here on the WZWA Network. And oh yeah, by the way, I'm California. It's good to be with you all. So look, yeah, I did Wrestle Kingdom earlier this year. I did the first day of Triple Mania this year, out of the 3 that's happening. So the next one obviously had to be Stardom. I had to see what the hype was all about with these ladies. So let's crack on with it. And once again, my apologies if I have a hard time pronouncing names. I will get there one day. And speaking of that, there's a pre-show and there was a Rumble match to start off, which featured, here we go, Momo, Nakanishi, Fukigen Death, I think, Koguma, Hanan, Yuna, Mizumori, Rina, Hina, Saya Iida, Super Strong Stardom Machine, Momo Kohgo, Ram Kaicho, Mai Sakurai, Waka Tsukiyama, Lady C, Super Strong Stardom Giant Machine. I love that name. And then there's another one that's just as good. Chanyota, Aya Sakura, HANAKO, and Super Strong Stardom Big Machine. Interesting, some of those names. But look, I thought this was going to be difficult because I had the version with the Japanese commentary, and only found out that there was English commentary a couple hours into the show, which I then switched over to. So I thought that I'd have a hard time not being told the stories and histories of these ladies, whereas when I did the AAA review, the English commentary team helped me be brought up to speed. Waka Tsukiyama battles with HANAKO to start things off. And I was wondering if this was over the top elimination because it didn't seem like they were trying to throw each other over the top rope. But now I do realize there's also pinfall, etc. And I'm not going to be too nitpicky about this because I understand that Japanese wrestling is a little bit different. They do things differently there. So I'm watching this show, and it's going to be based on its merits, okay? On the fact that I am going into this as like a tourist in Japanese pro wrestling, okay? Another thought I had was Momo Kohgo, who I thought was fantastic, by the way. I thought she's tiny, man. The selling and screaming from HANAKO, or yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. You know what? I'm not going to keep going on about my pronunciations. I either get it right or I don't. HANAKO, I thought that was great on her behalf. Saya Iida came in during 2 camel clutches that were taking place, which was rather funny, and the ladies were pulling off some comedy while walking along the other ladies' backs by running back and forth. I got a little bit of a tickle out of that. It's really hard to write notes on a Rumble match like this, but some fun spots were happening here and there. I'm actually enjoying seeing all the flashy outfits and the presentation of all the ladies. Particular spot with 6 ladies in a triangle choke, all on their back, you know, one after another with someone else in a triangle choke. And then another lady walks over to, look, I don't know whose names are who at this stage. I've completely, lost everyone's name at that point, but she locked in a Boston Crab on the first lady who was on her back, turned her over, and then they all turned over together. I thought that was funny. I thought that was very creative. It made it look like Human Centipede, though, for a second there. Ram Kaicho, this character came out, apparently can make opponents fall over without touching them. I didn't like that. I did not like that. She went kind of like that to them and made a noise, and they bumped and held their stomach. Wasn't into that. So I was struggling a little bit to understand how, when, or who has been eliminated, because it seemed like ladies were getting back in the ring and getting involved in the match after what I assumed was elimination. So again, I'm just still trying to understand and learn when I have Japanese commentary and I can't understand Japanese. A lot of comedy type spots in this match. I think their roll-up pins are impressive and go so deep when they roll each other up because they're all so flexible. It stands out. The referee gets involved in a spot where he is stuck in the corner. There's a lady in front of him who's got a lady in front of her, and she's bumping her butt into her, who's then bumping her butt into the referee. I thought that was funny too. Mai Sakurai won the match. I wanted Chanyota to win because I thought she was cute. And you know what? Momo Kohgo stood out too, as I was already said. Let's move forward. There's a pre-show 8 Joshi tag team match. Do I say woman or do I say Joshi? Is it Joshi? Please, in the comments, if anyone can let me know the correct pronunciation, that would help a lot. Oedo Tai, I believe is the name of the team, of Momo Watanabe. Natsuko Tora, Ruaka, and Saki Kishima against Club Venus, Jesse, Xena, and Be Still My Beating Heart. Mariah May and Thekla. So, you know, look, immediately I'm Club Venus all the way. And that's not Val, this Venus right here. Because as far as I'm concerned, Mariah May is my homie. She's my homie. I like Thekla's work. I was pumped to see Mariah get in there and show me what she is all about, and that a Barbie doll can kick ass too. Because you know what? There was this thing that went on Twitter a little while ago where some guy saw a picture of Mariah May and said, I'm so sick of women like this being in wrestling, blah, blah, blah. I'm sick of these Barbie dolls thinking they can do it too. And he had never seen a match of hers. He had never had a clue as to what her experience in the business was. He judged her on the fact that she's incredibly beautiful. And she's got the blonde hair and she's like a doll. Look, let's be perfectly honest. Mariah May could very well be the most beautiful human being on the planet. She is the prettiest girl I think I've ever seen, especially in pro wrestling, which is saying a lot considering how many ladies in pro wrestling are absolutely gorgeous. But I think she's got everyone beat. She's a bump taker, Mariah May. Gotta give her props. I liked her work. I liked that big drop kick she hit off the top rope when she first entered the match. Everybody seemed to get a chance to shine in this. It seems to be like kind of a key thing that I noticed in some of the multi-person matches here. Everyone at least got a moment to shine out there. Saki Kishima hit a victory roll the likes I've never seen before. Honestly, this was really an interesting experience because just the way some of the ladies hit some of these maneuvers that I've seen before, but it becomes more impressive because they're extra flexible and they can take those bumps real deep on their back, you know, and on their neck. And I have to admit, and I noticed through the whole show, the ladies are very vocal. There's a lot of screaming going on. Oedo Tai get the victory after miscommunication with the use of a weapon with Club Venus and Thekla, I believe. Again, I was getting confused as to who was actually in the group and who wasn't. But that match went 9 minutes, 54 seconds, and I thought it was a good one. Okay, let's get on with the main show here. We start off with a tag team match, AZM and Mai Suruga versus my Seira, I think, Seira and Starlight Kid. I have to say, I love Starlight Kid's mask and outfit. AZM and Mai Suruga, for their entrance, they have these big wings that they spread. And unfortunately, AZM tried to do a twirl during her entrance on the stage and tripped over and fell on her bum. for just a moment, but then held her own, pretended nothing bad happened. And you know what? Well done, love. You done good, mate. You done good. You played it off like there was no problem whatsoever. AZM and my Seira with excellent pace to start the match. My Suruga, sorry. As soon as she got in the match, she's mental, dude. She is mental. Like, just the pace on this woman. Stalemate with her and Starlight Kid was rather wild. Almost as good as Olivia Wilde. Almost looked as good as Olivia Wilde. The double backslide pin spot with Suruga and Seira was something I've never seen before. They ended up having each other in a backslide pin at the same time. I don't think I've ever seen it before, because I don't think male pro wrestlers are actually capable of doing something like that. That was crazy. AZM's dive onto a pile of people was epic. My Suruga doesn't sorry. She does a lot of talking and she makes a lot of noise. This match became more and more aggressive as it moved along. This match was so quick and it was nuts. The difference here is between when I see kind of this fast-paced wrestling, I don't see the cooperation with one another with these ladies because they were moving so quick. A lot of the time I see, in some of these other wrestling companies, this, indie style, I suppose you could say, I see them doing things like what these ladies are doing here, but they don't move as quick. The cruiserweights in WCW, they moved quick like this. You never saw that cooperation, which is what I've done. AZM and my Seira exchanged a whole heap of reversals and transitions that were tremendous. And the finish saw my pin AZM. So my signifies she wants a title shot at AZM, who I can't remember what belt it was that she had. And they were all, to be honest, they're all being very cute about it. I don't know why, but it's just like, this seems like a cute conversation going on here. It's a bit too much smiling. 9 minutes, 49 seconds for that one. Moving forward, the next one's a tag team match. Fuwa-chan and Hazuki take on Queen's Quest, which is Mayu Amasaki and Utami Hayashishida. I'm doing well now with the names, I must say. Hayashishida, I got it the first go. This one went 14 minutes, 19 seconds. All these ladies' outfits are so interesting and intricately designed. I really like it. By the way, also, I apologize for my throat. I still have not recovered from 2 days ago. If you may have heard in my XPW review, I was still quite hoarse during that review. But anyway, I would have liked a singles match palette cleanser here, but I understand this is Japan and they like their multi-person type matches. These ladies are like ragdolls with one another, just the way that, again, the bumps. I have to keep on going on about the bumps. I've also noticed that the scoop slams happen very often. And they start off by hooking for a suplex before scooping. I don't know. I just noticed that was a little bit different. This match, to be honest, I have to be honest, it was kind of hard to follow. Not that it was bad or anything, but I was struggling with figuring out what the psychology of the match was. I guess commentary is really important sometimes. So a lot of suspenseful near falls toward the end. Hayashishida hit a sick lariat that nearly ended things. And if you saw the match, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Folded her up like an accordion. Bridging German for the win for Hayashishida and Amasaki. Thank you very much. Not bad. But again, I struggle with the psychology. But that's, maybe I was just having a moment. Coming up next, singles match. Himeka versus Maika. This is Himeka's retirement match, apparently. To start off this contest, nothing but collisions to start the match, bro. Shoulder blocks. Maika gets a slight advantage till they brawl to the outside. This was physical. Maika dominates early, but because Himeka is clearly a bit distracted with, I could sense the psychology there. She's trying to go for the big moves early on. She's distracted because this is her final match. I think Himeka has some charisma about her. Stalling superplex brainbuster like move off the top rope was insane, dude. This was a good back and forth fight between these two. I like the high knee from Himeka. She got the crowd pumped when she fires up. When she fires up, they start chanting her name. You don't usually hear people getting their names chanted in Japan. Forward falling powerbomb soon after that, and a kick out literally after 3 it felt. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Maika was crying as she finished Himeka off. And I was like, I don't understand why Himeka needs to retire at 25 years old. I did a little Google search and I was like, shit, she's pretty young. You know, maybe, I don't know. Maybe she's just, I don't know. Maybe she wants to start a family and just feels like she can't wrestle at the same time as that. I don't know. Mike and her walk off arm in arm down the ramp or up the ramp. That was very sweet. Moving forward. The Goddesses of Stardom title match. This is their tag team titles. This one went 12 minutes, 25 seconds. Neo Stardom Army, Nanae Takahashi and Yu, that's spelled Y-U-U, versus God's Eye, which is Amy Sakurai and Mirai. I'm sorry, I think it's Mirai, M-I-R-A-I, Mirai. Amy Sakurai and Mirai. Okay, we'll go with that. Didn't write many notes for this one though. Yu is a big lady, and it was really cool at the beginning with both members of God's Eye trying to beat on Yu, and they were just overwhelmed by the one woman because she was, you know, she was built like a tank. Neo Stardom armies, they really bring legitimacy when they do their thing. Because what did I hear? I heard that Takahashi is a former Queen of Stardom. Is that the title belt? World of Stardom, sorry. Champion, not Queen of Stardom. I'm getting confused with the show name. But anyway, she's a former champion. So because of that, she's clearly formidable. And these two are no nonsense, is what I'm trying to get across here. God's Eye hit this sick double T move, and Sarai got up straight away. Which was... sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about there. Maybe I meant Neo Stardom Army hit a sick double T move and Sarai got up straight away. And there were some dives to the outside. Well, there was one dive, and I was really confused. If anyone out there can explain this to me, when in Stardom they do a dive to the outside, why do they have these ladies at ringside helping catch the dive? Because I don't know. Just to me that seems strange. But then anyway, it was a nice surprise seeing God's Eye actually win these tag team titles, become the Goddesses of Stardom. Did not see that coming. And clearly Takahashi was not happy after the match and wanted to continue fighting. But hey, new champs, congratulations. Let's move forward again. And I'm skipping between the matches here. I'm not really sticking around to watch things because, yeah, again, when I started watching this, it said it was 5 hours and 30 minutes. Turned out it wasn't as long as that, but you had to skip a lot of stuff. Anyway, the Artist of Stardom title match, which is their trios titles. Prominence, which is Haragi Kurumi, Riza Seira, and Suzu Suzuki. They take on Restart, which is Kairi, you know Kairi Sane, Natsupoi, and Sayuri Anu. I knew it was Anu when I looked at the word, but then I double checked it again, and then I stumbled. Oh well. Kairi, she's my favorite pirate. Prominence jumped them quickly as the match began, and very violently from the outset. I really liked that, showing that they weren't here to be messed around with. The champs. Kairi unnecessarily got hit with the kendo stick as the match had already begun, right in the gut, and it made me laugh. I thought to myself, man, that Natsupoi, she's small, and then it said she was 45 kilos. How tiny is she, man? 45 kilos. A lot of you Americans do the check on Google. What is 45 kilos in pounds? Check it out. Super light, dude. I switched to the English commentary during the previous match, so now I'm starting to learn a bit more things. Kairi was hitting some specky-looking moves. She seemed to be getting featured a lot here. I guess she was the former IWGP Women's Champ. Haragi gives us a near fall with a boss man slam on Kairi, making her serve some hard time. Sayori and Suzu trade slapping each other in the face real hard. Bridging German by Sayori, and she's hit in the gut with a kendo stick while she's doing the bridging German pin. There were some big dives to the outside. Then there was a move called the tequila shot by Suzuki. But an incredible roll-up pin got Sayori in a great position. And there we have it. So, that was a pretty good match too. Okay, let's move forward again. Wonder of Stardom title match. I believe this is the fourth last match on the show. Saya Kamitani, the champion, defending against Mina Shirakawa. This is actually really good. This match went $17.56. 17 minutes, 56 seconds. But look, I'll be honest, this was a very long show for me. And I don't know if all these shows are always this long, but this is tough for a fan like me who likes his nice little 3-hour pay-per-views. Super intense between the two early on. An amazing springboard cross body to the outside, I believe by Mina Shirakawa. I think I can't remember which of them did it, but it was awesome. Kamitani is particularly impressive with her kicks and execution of moves. But there must be some sort of story where she doesn't have the confidence to execute her Phoenix Splash off the top rope. So she went to the top rope and she had this moment with herself where she's screaming at herself to try and psych herself up to do it, but she just can't do it. And that might have cost her. Mina locked in a figure 4 after attacking the knee. And the screaming from Saya made it seem like she was getting murdered, dude. Like, this was blood-curdling screams. And again, once again, I noticed that the ladies are very, very vocal. Very vocal. Like, so loud, screaming so much. Like, surely after their voices are as sore as mine is right now. Surely. She finally hits a Phoenix Splash, and Mina kicks out at 2.9999999. Mina fights back and goes a bit crazy. The DDT off the top rope was absolutely nuts. That was probably one of the spots of the show, pretty close to. And they gave the 2 count, right? And I'm like, I swear to God, there's an art behind Japanese wrestling and counting a near 2 count, because I swear to God, they get to 3, but the referee kind of doesn't let his hand touch the mat, and the lady kicks out after what 3 would have actually been, to make it seem like it was even more super late of a kick out. I don't know what it is. If, again, anyone can please enlighten me in the comments, I'd love to know a little bit more about that. Because I swear some of them, I swear some of the ladies don't kick out on time. But maybe there's an art to their near falls. Sorry, I'm having a hard time with my voice. I apologize. I know it makes me sound sexier though, at least so. Mina wins a championship after, I think they called it the glamorous driver. I couldn't quite get what the commentator said, and he was speaking in English. She won the championship. This seemed like a very big moment. And you know what? Everything seems very important in Stardom. They're treating it like a sport. Everything seems important. 3 to go. The next one is a knockout or submission only match. Sayuri takes on Chihiro Hashimoto. I was impressed with Hashimoto's go-behinds. The way she ducks down, hits a knee on the way up. You got to see Hashimoto when she does her go-behinds, get to that waist lock from behind. She's very impressive with that stuff. I bet you she's a really fantastic amateur wrestler. There was a torture rack into a German suplex. Again, Hashimoto is impressive. Almost the most impressive on the show for me. That suplex off the top with the hammerlock was absolutely nuts, dude. I've never seen that before. Like, okay, that she had a hammerlock behind the lady that she hit it on. So you already hit it on Hashimoto, by the way. She had Hashimoto's arm behind her back in a hammerlock and did a suplex off the top rope. Like, the degree of difficulty in not breaking someone's arm doing that's got to be fine. I have to say, Hashimoto is full of beans. On the outside, the German didn't work, but then she hit a spear that just cut right through Sayuri. Brilliant. A lot of fire fighting back from Sayuri, a stiff powerbomb from Hashimoto. And then after that, there was a go behind that went into a German suplex. And I'm like, man, she drops to a knee like that, like an Olympian. It just, honestly, I've never noticed anyone hit then, go to their knee the way that she does like that. Brilliant. They're both screaming in each other's face like they're wild animals. I felt like this was going a little bit too long, but that's okay. I get these are important matches. Sayuri ends up knocking Hashimoto out with a buzzsaw kick to win the match. I was surprised that Hashimoto lost here. She seemed like the real aggressor, but it is what it is. 2 to go here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for sticking through this with me and my sore throat and my bad pronunciations. IWGP Women's Title Match. Mercedes Monet, you may know as Sasha Banks from WWE. She defends against Mayu Iwatani. You know what? I got to be honest. There's something about Mercedes that annoys me. I've never bought into her hype. You know how there's just some wrestlers you will never get into. You can't get into them. You can't get into their work and what they do. You can't get into the promos that they cut. You just can't get into them. This is just what it's been like all the time with me and her. I know she has good matches. I know she's like charismatic and has potential and all that stuff. Something about her just doesn't, I don't know why. Just something about her just does not click with me. So Mayu with some real intensity early. I've never seen her before, like many ladies on this show. She copped a real rough bump to the outside. These two are going back and forth. Monet missed a frog splash. To be honest, that it looked a bit awkward. The landing on the frog splash looked awkward. Even though you weren't hitting it on someone, or she wasn't hitting it on Mayu, it just didn't. I don't know. It just didn't look right. It looked like a backyard wrestler doing a frog splash. Rope break. Whilst Mayu's trying to hit like some sort of suplex on Mercedes, and she kicks the rope that Mercedes has a hand on. It hurts her hand. She lifts her hand, and then she gets dragon suplexed. Really cool. Then Mayu hit a frog splash that looked fantastic. That's how you do a frog splash. Not one of those little. Mercedes has this move now, the new finisher move, the money maker. I don't like it. I think it looks really messy. Mercedes doing a pin over and over and over and over, desperately trying to get the win. Really funny because the referee kept on counting the ooh, like it's just, I don't know, he was so loud and booming and he did it over and over and over again. It just made me laugh. So Mercedes hit I think that she calls it the bank roll, which usually does it to the bank statement or whatever it's called. But then she taunts and then gets hit with another dragon suplex. Then there's a moonsault. And there's a kick out of the moonsault. Then snatch dragon suplex ends it. So, and I'm sorry, Mayu Iwatani won the match, which is a nice surprise. I thought, Mercedes is going to have that run, but maybe that was the deal. You take the belt from Kairi, you got to put over our upcoming, IWGP Women's Champion. So she ended up being like a what do you call it? Champion. Transitional. That's the word. Sorry for the gap there. So yeah, it was a good match. 12 minutes, 56 seconds. I'm just a bit puzzled by her going there. Not because I think Stardom's not good enough or anything like that. I just, I don't know. I don't know if she fits in, to be honest with you. But maybe I need to watch a bit more, and maybe I need to stop, having such a problem with her. I don't know. The match was good. That's all that matters. Coming up next, World of Stardom title match is the main event of the evening. Julia, the champion, takes on Tam Nakano, or is it Nakano? I think it's Nakano. This is Bull Nakano, so it's Tam Nakano, because that's what I figured out as I listened to the commentators. Okay, like I've heard of some things about Julia. I've heard of her, right? As soon as I saw her, I was like, yeah, I already like her. See, isn't that funny? Like, when it comes to Mercedes Monet, I immediately just had something with a problem with her. I see Julia, and immediately I'm like, yeah, I like her. I like her heaps. She's awesome. I'm already a fan. She hasn't done anything. She hasn't even made the entrance yet. And Tam, I thought she looked very pretty. I have to be honest. The way she was, looking through her entrance and all that. I'm trying to think of the word. What's the word? A presentation. Shit. So there was a snowplow early on. I know it's got a different word. I'm sorry, by Julia. And Tam rolled out to the outside. Then immediately Julia sets up one of these, the good old Japanese tables. It's never like the tables you see in the US shows. It's one of those thin ones. It's just, I don't know, they make me laugh. Because they're always so difficult to break. So it goes for a pile driver attempt. It does not happen. Then they continue on with the match, but then Julia hit a snapmare off the top rope to the outside through said table. Awesome. I think she's got a lot of star potential, but someone told me that even though I think she was born in England, but she's Italian and Japanese, and she only speaks Japanese, so she doesn't speak English. So I don't know. Maybe, she has a mouthpiece, a manager or something, but maybe just being wrestling in Japan is just what she should be doing. But if it were me, I'd want to hire her. So anyway, Julia went for a drive on the ramp, and then Tam hit this ferocious reverse DDT. They both knocked one another out on the ropes with headbutts, and they get back in by an 18 count. Very good selling, to be honest with you. They actually looked like they were knocked out. They actually looked like two bodies flopping to the outside. It was actually really, it's good stuff. It was getting so violent between them both of them, just slapping each other over and over again. One thing I've noticed is there's a lot of cool reversals that these ladies do that lead to pin attempts. Some things I just feel like I've never seen before. There's a move that Tam does, the Twilight Dream. That's a crazy move. Julia tries to execute a move from the top rope. No dice, to no avail, sorry. No cigars. What a struggle this was. Then there's a double underhook suplex off the top. That was just because I'm pretty sure Julia landed right on top of Tam Nakano on that double underhook off the top. It just looked hectic. Then Tam hits a tiger suplex. Julia hits some insane pump handle driver thing. I don't even know what it is, but it was amazing. Then a tiger suplex. And then Tam hits a Northern Lights bomb. Then there's a Twilight Dream again, which apparently no one had kicked out of before. Now Julia kicks out of that a second time in this match. But then Tam, one more thing to finally win that belt, hits a screwdriver, and she wins the title. 23 minutes, 40 seconds. Best match on the show as far as I'm concerned, between Julia and Tam Nakano, the new World of Stardom champion. So that was a great show. That was a fantastic show. For somebody who is a tourist in this kind of wrestling, I've, never really seen a lot of it. I've seen some matches here and there, Akira Hokuto, Bull Nakano, Manami Toyota, etc., but not a lot of current day stuff. So giving this a rating out of 10, based on the merits of me not really knowing a lot about Joshi wrestling, me not really knowing a lot about the characters on the show or the stories that went into these matches on the show, Based on what I saw and how I enjoyed it, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. That's right. That's a really good rating when it comes to me. I'm telling you right now, an 8 is actually fantastic. So there we have it. I enjoyed my first Stardom experience. I'm going to keep looking at the upcoming shows and cards that take place throughout the year. And if some shows seem a little bit more important, then maybe I will cover them. I was only really aiming to do like a Wrestle Kingdom style event or a Triple Mania, you know, like a big one. And this show Queendom, what was it called? I've clicked off my notes now, but you know, it was this felt like a really big show. It felt like a you can't miss kind of show. So I'll be trying to do that from here on. And if you liked me doing a review of Stardom, please let me know in the comments about your thoughts or my thoughts. I'd like to hear about it. So I'm California. This is the WZWA Network. Please check out our Pro Wrestling Tees store. It's called Thunder Mifflin. And you can get a bunch of great designs there. Also, please, please, please go to our Discord. Also, please, 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 www.rizon.net, Ryzen.net. Go into a chat room, #Pro Wrestling. There is a great bunch of guys in there to talk to about pro wrestling, guys and gals from all over the world. We've got a nice little community in there. You should join us. Join us. Come on. Now, if you join, you know what? If you join us, I'll send you 10 Australian dollars. So in your currency, that's probably like, I don't know, $4. And it would be called bucks, it would be called whatever your currency is. Anyway, I'm rambling. California, WZWA Network. See you down the road. Thank you.
Network, that's the way we play. Good God Almighty. Network, that's the way we play. Get puppies. Network, that's the way we play. Get.
The following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA Network.